Hello, chap. Hello, karaoke. Oh, chap. Hello. What's up, guys, gals, demigods? Bryson, chat. Wherefore thou art, chat? I believe it is where art thou? Wherefore art thou? I don't know. I don't know the old English like that. I tried. Well, today's gonna be an interesting day. We're gonna do some casual chill, but I got some news first. I'm always gonna pop off with the news before I do anything else because the news is important. Hang tight. I'm getting everything set up, and we're gonna get right into it. Today, we got a pretty fun day, so you just hang tight. All right, here we go. My glasses are totally screwed right now. What's up, YouTube chat? Where my YouTubers at? It's Saturday, man. They're out there partying, having fun, you know? Doing things, you know? Knitting, maybe, given my demographic, maybe. All right, here we go. My glasses are totally screwed. Yeah. They're knitting right now. Gosh, it's so... Really? My glasses are not cooperating today. At all. Love me. We'll go with it. Alright, everybody. So, what are we doing today? First, let's talk about the news. Let me update everybody on some things that happened over the last 24 hours. Twitter is a cesspool of just craziness. There's some good stuff in there, but it's a lot of craziness, and you gotta really be careful with a lot of the stuff you find on Twitter. And I try. There is some really seriously, in my opinion, kind of terrifying things happening. With certain people experiencing attacks. I don't want to talk about the specific dramas, but please don't be the kind of person that gets mad at someone because they think differently about the UFO phenomena than you, and so you want to hurt them or their family or their children. Please don't be that person. Because that person exists, and they are very influential. So, don't be that person. What's up, Midwest Night Watcher? Keeping it 100 all day, every day. You know what to do, baby. Yeah. We'll save this. Oh, oops. Sorry. Wrong button. Pushing a lot of wrong buttons. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, guys. And I remember I told you I push against a certain narrative that's prevalent in the community. Well, I've already told you. Some of you don't believe me. I know that. But I'm telling you, based off of the research that I've done, lots and lots of hours all day long every day, the attacks are towards one side of the aisle. The attacks are not the attacks are not towards people that think that there's love, light, and happiness out there. The attacks are towards the other side. Now listen, there are people that are looking at data and they're interpreting that data a certain way. And so if that data suggests lasers, if that data suggests something that's antithetical to the general narrative, then people get upset. But I want to bring up something about Ross Coulthart, and I remember I told you. So today I'm not going to show who did it, but today, the other day I posted the Ross Coulthart interview, the first part of it. I watched the second one today, and in the first part of the interview, he mentioned some things that people didn't like. They really didn't like it. They were really upset about it. So much so that they're accusing him of the P word. You know what it is. If you put it in the chat, I will kick you from the chat. I will kick you out of the chat because I'm not going to let you hurt my channel. But it is it has to do with like what the Catholic priests do sometimes to young kids. They're accusing Ross Coulthart of this, which is ironic. And they're doing it because they don't like his narrative. It's a literal. There's no ambiguity here. They are attacking him because he is reporting on the data. And they don't like it. They don't like data that doesn't align with their belief. They're religious nuts. You know what I'm talking about, Bryson. Come on, big. You a big boy. You're a big boy. I didn't. Not yet, no. Yesterday was there was too much stuff. This morning I have to focus on the research first, and when I can, I get to the extra. But I have to follow the research first. I got to, for obvious reasons. I do this professionally. I can't be behind on the data. But when it comes to Ross and the criticism against Ross, it's honestly illogical for the most part. It's totally illogical. It's all about attacking him because they don't like that he isn't saying that Stephen Greer is the Dr. Longschlong is the arbiter of truth, and that all aliens are good, and that there's nothing bad except for the government, and that that's the narrative that is being protected by the UFO community. And anyone who speaks against that, at least right now, they're being attacked. I will not let my audience not know about this because that would be my irresponsible. Peanut, what's up, Peanut? Hey, Peanut. Peanut's in the YouTube chat, y'all. I will not allow my audience to not be aware of this reality. So I posted that video of the first interview with Ross Coulthart, and not less than 24 hours, somebody posted a Facebook link, so I checked it out. And it was to a video criticizing Ross Coulthart, calling him a liar, a grifter, and that thing that Catholic priests do to young children. Now, the first time I've ever been afraid, it was then, because there are some, there's a lot. If you, yeah, it lives. Yeah, you're right, Garyoki. Greer does have most of the UFO community under his spell. It's that Longschlong, the Dr. Longschlong. I think Midwest Nightwatcher is right, though. Aliens are blue with pink polka dots. Probably true. I'm going to go with that. The data suggests that Midwest Nightwatchers is correct. Now, let me just go over that, and then I want to talk about something else that I think is really important. We're going to have a little bit of fun today. Bear with me. We're just going to have some fun today. And then we're going to get to some discussion. If anybody wants to join me for the last hour, I can only do 2 hours today. If anybody wants to join me for the last hour, hit me up in chat. I'll send you a Zoom link, and we can talk. But I am going to definitely let you guys know we're going to be watching. Yes. We're going to be watching the extended gameplay of Starfield. You know why? Because Starfield is going to be a game that I'm going to main on this channel here. It is a massive open world. Well, let me rephrase that. Hold on. Let me get the... it's like many worlds. It's many. 1,000 worlds are involved in this game. We can explore all of them, and one second. One second here. All right, so just in case, because I know how things like to go. What do you mean? So weird. There we go. It's gonna be a pretty chill day today, but so let's talk about it. Starfield, all right? It's a role-playing game. It was made by Bethesda Game Studios. You guys know that. We talked about that. Not that anybody, if anybody doesn't know, Bethesda Studios is a beloved gaming studio that made the game Fallout 4. Listen, don't get me started. Fantastic game. Also Skyrim. And they made Starfield. It was announced in 2018 by Bethesda at the E3, but they claim it was 25 years in the making. They've been building this game or working on this game for 25 years. So how this game is where you can switch between like a first person and third person perspective, and that's what I like. I like the third person perspective. You can switch between those at any time, which is probably my favorite point. I want to be able to see my character interact with the world. I don't want to be in the first person, field of view, although some people like that. This is like, they say it's like, they compare it to Skyrim, and they call it Skyrim in space, but also a mix between Fallout because it has factions in it. So it's open world, but it has areas in like everywhere within the Milky Way galaxy. So it contains these, fictional and non-fictional planetary systems, which again, we're going to have so much fun with that. And we as players are able to land on over 1,000 planets. Any way we want to, and they don't even tell us that how many moons there are, but there are moons as well as planets, and there are space stations. This game is massive. 1,000 planets. We don't even know how many moons, and there are space stations scattered throughout this galaxy. This part of the galaxy, I should say. And now the majority of the landscape within the game, they say it's going to be what's called procedurally generated, which is how. So they subsequently modified and handcrafted some of the content that was developed around the procedural generation. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I know that procedural generation uses some kind of a foundation, which is handcrafted in there, and then it uses that and then just goes crazy with making up new landmasses or details to landmasses. And we're talking entire planets, 1,000 of them. So it generates everything from the land, the terrain, the alien flora and fauna, which is going to be so cool to see. It's going to be like we're exploring all these planets. And depending on the star system and whatever the atmosphere is and locations, there's like certain locations that are going to be of interest. So it's not going to be a bunch of dead planets. Although there will be a bunch of dead planets. They're lifeless, I should say, not dead. We get to explore them all. I don't know about you, but it's like we're going to be able to live in a... And this is just in the background of our conversation, because we're still going to have conversations, but I'm not a big gamer when it comes to the first-person shooters and stuff. But this game is going to consume quite a bit of my... when I have the free time. But it's definitely going to be one of the games that I'm going to main on the stream for consistency, and also I think it fits what we do here. which is talk about alien life, and we haven't really got into it yet, but I am into, on a very surface level, I'm into, you know, space, and we can also talk about, let's see, I can explain it real well. Whiplash. We'll talk about that after. Yeah, we're gonna watch something here, and then I'll bring you on, Whiplash. Anybody else wants to come on, by all means. But if you're gonna crap on that game, I'm not gonna allow it. We can debate that later. So the AI generated landscapes as you go. From what I understand, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch a little video, actually a big video, that explains everything about the game. And again, this is gonna be something that we can use as a means for really just sparking our imagination. You know, there's a lot of NPCs, so like you can talk to people. There's a lot of characters that are all throughout the world. You can have up to 20 companions in this game. You don't have to have that many. 4 of those companions are essential or vital to the chunk or bulk of the story, so they're really important, and each companion offers some kind of a benefit, a buff, they say, that kind of that stacks on top of the character's characteristics, which you get to choose your character, pick their traits, as well as decide whether or not they have parents, which you have to pay from time to time. It's such an interesting game. It's such an interesting game. It's a simulation game. It's a role-playing and simulation game. I think it's mostly single player. I haven't heard anything about the multiplayer aspect of it yet. But yeah, I think it's more like Star Trek, man. You get to, this is like, listen, it's like we get to have our own exploration of space, like we're Star Trek, where like we are part of the Intergalactic Federation, or we're more like outcasts or outlaws, Whiplash Gaming, and in this field of stars, hence the name Starfield. Let's get to it though. Let's just, I'm gonna show you, because I'm not doing the best job explaining it, but I'm telling you right now, it is fun, and we're gonna really, I think you're gonna like it. So let's check it out. One sec. I hope this is okay, because I am playing this video in full. But everyone, please let me know how my audio levels are as we view this video.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all of you. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since then with the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio. We've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look. Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it. From the rocks at your feet, to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person. We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources, do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected. We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's head out.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch, a bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty. What's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource-heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system, where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a Colony War memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god. Look at how it's coming together. That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the United Colonies' reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space. The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
A new face. Is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile?
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Snap out of it!
Hey, come on, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we've ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings, it's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages and disadvantages. You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! Is it really, really you?
He'll join your crew, and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with his constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air. I've got to have every molecule.
My favorite trait is kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my God!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go to another adventure.
We'll let you discover that on your own.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point, which can be used to unlock or rank up skills. Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill. Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat. That one's a lot of fun.
Invest in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie, and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
Take him down! Move, move, move! You're gonna pay for that!
I like blowing stuff up.
Exploration is a key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships. It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything you see here, and you have two ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms. Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really whatever your imagination is.
And while you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run. And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship and telling you that you can do pretty much anything. And that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the ground drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump. And moving your power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there. Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target. After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours. Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport. But space is way more than fighting for your life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards. Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship, like the UC Vigilance. Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes. I want to take over ships. I'm going to board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
Some strangers might be looking for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests, and it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder, and sometimes a little fear. We're giving you a massive playground and a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
Hey everybody, we've shown you so much stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. We put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And for this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorer's Watch. This is the watch that you actually get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass and then environmental information. It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information. And we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with, Istvan.
Yeah, we really took as much care in designing this case as we did the watch. Our attention to detail in the game totally translates to this. Inspired by the cases that the astronauts used during the Apollo era to bring back samples from the moon. It's got an intricate locking mechanism, authentic, heavy, comes with a Constellation patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this as something that would exist in the world, in the Starfield universe.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there, and it even tells the time.
We actually have something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited edition Starfield controller. It's awesome. It is now, our favorite controller.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. And not only that, we've created the first ever custom headset with Xbox. And this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
Control, this is Constellation Starship Frontier. Ready to start on your signal. Steady till ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course. Guidance has come
every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds. But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore. Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet, whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet. And the habitat modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses and set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves. So that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
Add crafting and research stations in your outposts to utilize any resources you find or already have.
Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like explosive rounds. All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor. You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
Upgraded gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying. Zero-gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero-G will actually push you backwards. Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
We also have mag weapons. These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage. Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger. Starfield's got you covered.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rock star photos.
I just love that constant feel of discovery and, wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet,
It's a unique experience.
You spend all this time building your ship, and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships,
Audio design,
planets.
The day-night cycle,
Those details matter to me.
diplomacy, exploration, freedom,
the ending, Vasco, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher, brain sprout. I love, but some people might find creepy. I don't know. I know it's right, Ben.
The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
On behalf of all of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Let's go. Good luck, Constellation. You are go for speed.
Wow. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I am so ready for this game. Wow. Yeah, oh my gosh, like that is just such an amazing looking experience. Wow. Let's talk about it. So, man, I am like, I'm actually really excited. I rarely am excited for a video game. Rarely ever excited for a video game because I can't play a lot. It's just not, you know, investing time, and I'm going to be a Starfield gamer, like a legit Starfield gamer. I'm going to learn the systems. I'm going to try to understand the game so that when I bring it to you guys here and we have our conversations about you know, aliens, we can do that while we're also exploring the galaxy, this part of the galaxy, and all these planets and the worlds, and going on to the planets and building our stations, talking to people throughout different colonies, and docking different, you know, space stations, and yo, we're gonna have so much fun with this game. Now, as I said, I didn't tell you who my gifter was, did I? My gifter, ladies and gentlemen, so that everybody knows, is the unicorn. The unicorn gifted us Starfield. And the unicorn didn't just gift us the base game. The unicorn gifted us early access, which means we get not only to play 1 week earlier, well, I should say 5 days earlier, I think, because it's on the 6th of September. We get to play it on the 1st of September, before most people, excluding, of course, the people that got the gaming code to play the game on, well, early access. They get to play it but they're playing it right now. They got the codes the other day. They're playing the game right now. So, yeah, we get to play. The 31st, we're going to check out. They're lifting what's called the embargo on the Starfield gameplay by people who are gifted those codes to play the game before everybody else, like actual gaming streamers, unlike myself, who are, you know, review games and they study these games. We're going to check this out on the 31st. We're going to listen to what they have to say about the game so we can learn about it beforehand. I'm going to do everything I can to learn as much as I can about the game so that when we play it, it's going to be a seamless, fun experience. Instead of like me trudging along like I do on Destiny, where I'm like, where the heck am I supposed to go? I do not want you to feel that way. I want it to feel like real, fluid, fun exploration and engagement. because this is going to be a big game. This is like a Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim. How long Skyrim been out for? Chat, help me out. How long has Skyrim been out for? I know you guys know. Skyrim had a 10-hour shelf life on 2010's infrastructure, and yeah. So Bryson, you want to hear something crazy about bugs? November 11th, 2011. That game, it is 2023. That game's been out for 12 years, and people are still playing it today. Why? Because the modding community kept it alive. Can you imagine what this is gonna what's gonna be made in the modding community? Mods, by the way, in case you don't know, it's like somebody go, and I'm just speaking from a layman's perspective. I don't know anything about. They essentially are programmers, game programmers who can build on top of the systems and the framework of infrastructure of the game itself, and then you can download those things like additions to the game and input them into your gameplay. And since we have it for PC and Xbox, of course, we can use mods. Whiplash Gaming does mods. It's going to be so. There's 1,000 planets. Do you think they're not going to just like go crazy? The modding community has probably been working. They probably gave them access. I don't know. If they haven't, they're gonna. I don't know how. Again, I don't know how it works. But this is going to be a big game. This is going to be massive. If the aliens don't invade in 2027, we're going to have a blast, y'all. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. The idea that you can visit. So listen to this. Let's check out the page for the features. For all into the Starfield. In the year, this is kind of the backstory. In the year 2330, humanity has ventured beyond our solar system, settling new planets and living as a spacefaring people. You will join Constellation, the last group of space explorers seeking rare artifacts throughout the galaxy, and navigate the vast expanse of space in Bethesda's game studio's biggest and most ambitious game. Now to JDO J-Dog Crane. What's up, J-Dog Crane? Ha, hopefully you get that chance. Bryson said bugs. There are people posting videos about some leaks that are on Reddit and so forth, and some other people that have played the game and have access to the game. Some of them say they have 10 plus hours into the game and they have experienced 0 bugs. Bryson, this is Bethesda Studios. It's being claimed as their best, most well-produced game yet, especially when it comes to being less buggy than anything they've ever made. So, I mean, I played Fallout 4. I can't even play it on PC because for some reason I get a black screen. If anybody wants to help me fix that, hit me up. But I do play it on Steam Deck because I can't play it on my PC for some reason. Steam Deck works perfectly. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if there's leaked footage, but if you go on Reddit, you can find a lot of leaked information. Twitter has it as well. I'm staying off those things because I don't want to. I mean, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not gonna at all. Maybe I'll be tempted. I don't know. But yeah. So, we're gonna bring Whiplash Gaming on in a second to talk about because Whiplash Gaming is an actual gamer. I am a passive gamer. So just to be clear, I passively game while I talk about the topics that we talk about. But I am a gamer at heart. I just don't have the time. You know, big family, a lot of things coming up soon, working on a lot of things at the same time. You all know that I don't have the time to play as much as I want to, but I will definitely be maining this game. Let's talk about this tell your story thing. So in Starfield, the most important story is the one you tell with your character. Start your journey by customizing your appearance and deciding your background and traits. The choice is yours. Decide who you will be and what you will become. I will be starting this game on day 1. September 1st, I'll be starting character creation and everything on day 1. We're going to be, just to start off, and then we'll, topics afterwards. Another thing is, you get to you also, not only do you get to choose the type of, I guess some of the narrative from the beginning of your character creation, based off of how you add those characteristics into your character's persona, that will shape some of the story as well. But you also get to choose by what you do. Whoa, J-Dog, are you serious? Bet. August 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be live. Pending any problems, I will be live August 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern. If that's true, I have it downloaded. So the game, I have the game downloaded on both systems. Thank the unicorn for that one, y'all. So you can also, so they said that because of how vast this worlds, whatever this universe is, the Starfield universe, you can encounter the same, you can go to the same planet as any other player, and it will be different for you. Not, I mean, that's huge. Listen, this is big. Explore outer space. Venture through the stars and explore more than 1,000 planets. Insane. Navigate bustling cities, explore dangerous spaces, and traverse wild landscapes. Meet and recruit a memorable cast of characters. Join in the adventure of various factions and embark on quests across the settled systems. This is going to be so much fun. I don't hype like this. I am so freaking hyped right now. Captain the ship of your dreams. This is going to be fun. Pilot and command the ship of your dreams. Personalize the look of your ship. Modify critical systems including weapons and shields, and assign crew members to provide unique bonuses. In deep space, you will engage in high-stakes dogfights, encounter random missions, dock at star stations, and even board and commandeer enemy ships to add to your collection. Now, this is gonna tell you who you really are. That lady, she's like, I'm taking every sandwich on this ship. Man, think about that. I'm glad it's not multiplayer. As far as I know, it's not a multiplayer game. It's a single-player experience. Skyrim is a single-player experience. I'm sure modders are going to add that in there, but I'm going to stick to the single-player experience because that's what this is about. This is about your story, right? This is the whole point. It's going to be so good. Draculticon, the mods definitely were a game changer. Literally mod whole DLCs for it. Yeah, there's going to be so many DLCs. J-Dog Crane, thank you so much. August 31st, 8 p.m. Check this out. I'm just going to put... Really? Really? So, IGN, Starfield Early Access starts at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. CT, and... I'm sorry, PT, CT, 7 p.m. CT, and 8 p.m. ET, which is Eastern, that's our time, on August 31st for those in the US. I'm doing a special stream, Starfield exclusive, on this date. Yes, we will be checking this out. Yes. 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 Thank you, J-Dog Crane. That's what's up. Discover, collect, and build. One of my favorite things about video games that I love, this is what I like to do, is the crafting and building of your own like houses or anything like that. To me is so, I could spend stupid amounts of time just casually doing these things. Because on top of that, like we talked about yesterday, the Armenian, there's audiobooks and interviews and videos that I have to watch anyway. So many hours of them. Bet you could do that while you're gaming without having to focus too much on. This is the kind of gamer that I have to be at this point in my life. So explore planets and discover the fauna, flora, and resources needed to craft everything from medicine and food to equipment and weapons. Build outposts and hire a crew to passively extract the materials and establish cargo links to transfer resources between them. Invest these raw materials into research projects to unlock unique crafting recipes. Yeah. Stupid amount of time doing this. Stupid amount of time. I'm gonna be, oh man. Lock and load. Okay, this is where I'm not gonna be the best at, but I'm gonna try my best, y'all. Space can be a dangerous place. Refined combat system gives you the tools to deal with any situation. Whether you prefer long-range rifles, laser weapons, or demolitions, each weapon type can be modified to complement your playstyle. Zero-G environments add a chaotic spectacle to combat, while boost packs give players freedom to maneuver like never before. I'm gonna have the boost pack. Yes, the answer is yes. Yeah. Will be August 31st, y'all. All right, Whiplash, you ready? Let's do this. Bring your Whiplash on. We got half an hour, y'all, before I gotta go. Oh, I forgot. Crap, I totally forgot. So, if you haven't already, Garyoki, my bad. Garyoki, my bad. I'm gonna send it to you in Discord, Whiplash. All right, y'all. We're waiting for Whiplash to jump on, and then he's gonna help us talk about this. I'm excited, and then we're gonna have a back and forth because I'm sure Whiplash is gonna have a. Again, he's a real gamer. He's a true gamer. Trust me, I've watched. He's helped carry me through the division. So, you know. Whiplash, what up? Yeah, we have it. I have it downloaded on PC, so we'll be able to play it. It says play, which is a big tease. You son of a gun. You son of a gun. Xbox Play Anywhere. I don't know what does that mean?
Check.
What's up, Whiplash?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, I have my mic muted.
It's all right. So let's talk about it. I'm going to use the restroom, so go ahead and give us the spiel while I use the restroom real quick, and then I'll be right back.
All right. Well, which part about it? I'm gonna go into the stream. I'm gonna go into the stream and see what. So that if anybody has any questions and all that stuff. But what do you want me to start on first?
So the first thing I want you to start off is about before we get to the criticisms, because I want to get to those. I want you to tell me what your concerns are, and then we'll talk about them. But I want to first start off with the positive. Tell me what your thoughts are. How do you feel about it? You can be as honest as you want. It's your time to talk, man. I don't monitor that. So but I want to try to be positive.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think in regards to it because I mean, there's a lot of information that's to be unpacked here because of a lot of the stuff. Now, I'm not going to talk about specifically the gameplay because of the fact that the gameplay. There's not a lot of footage about the gameplay. They're just talking about how it can be gameplayed. So we'll get down into the base of the coding and how the graphics work and all that stuff. And from what I've seen, and this is just based off of the individual clips that I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be a very bright and a very colorful world. But also it's going to and yeah, a lot of people are probably saying that they don't have a lot of bugs and they have 10 hours in. But they probably were actually just running the game to play it. Whereas there's a lot of people like me, I'll go out and I'll specifically look for those specific bugs that are in game. But with it being a single player game, those bugs aren't really going to be that much of an issue because of the fact that even like Skyrim, Fallout 4, and all these different other single player games have bugs in them. There's really no need to really fix them unless they're considered a game-breaking bug. Something that where you get stuck inside of it and cannot get out of said bug. With it being massive, now it may be because there's multiple different ways that they could do massive online gameplay where you have like massive worlds and things like that. You've got server side, which is usually just a set type of environment, such as World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft has all of its code and it never changes. And then you've got client side where when you download it and it's on your server, because every time you start a game that has to connect to the internet, it has a server side and client side. The client side, it'll store locally, and it may render that environment different for everybody. Whenever you're playing a game that where you can have, like on Fallout 4, it's client side rendering. When you build your little base at, say, the Red Rocket truck stop, where you put everything may not be the same as the way somebody else puts it. So that's how client side rendering will work. So they may have it where it's both client and server side, whereas they have just a base code that allows for rendering, and then just how whatever choices, things that you've seen, stuff like that you've made throughout the game may render how that environment looks. Now, getting into Bethesda, they've made a lot of great games. Fallout series, the Skyrim series.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to pull up your YouTube. Oh, send me a link to your YouTube so I can see all of your guys's.
Yeah, hold on. Let me send it right now.
And then I'm also
I'm
also
curious.
gonna pull up something real quick.
Okay, I'm curious
that way
about
I
something.
can watch the Twitch.
Yeah, man, I'm curious about something though. My curiosity is like, so you're still, you just don't know yet, and you're essentially kind of a little concerned because of the history of course of Bethesda, and their very prevalent bugs that are in their games, all of their games.
Yeah.
That's your concern.
It's not saying that it's not going to be a good thing. It's just that it's just give me 1 second. I'm trying to do an overlay. I've got this download where I can play a game and watch your specific stream. Not watch your stream, but watch your chat, so I can be able to talk to people whenever they ask questions, and then I can also watch your YouTube on my other monitor.
That's cool. I send you the YouTube link.
Yeah. I'm concerned, but I'm not concerned. The reason being is because of the fact that Bethesda has been known to make very great games.
Yeah,
and
to say the least. Long-lasting games too.
Yeah. The thing with it is most of their games have been online. Like you even popped in the chat that Bethesda did not make Fallout 76.
So yeah, let me be clear. I don't.
Go ahead and start on that.
So yeah, just to be clear, I don't know the details enough to regurgitate them even in a coherent way. What I remember is watching a specific YouTuber who gave a reason for why Fallout 76 specifically was so terrible, because there was a sub company. They kind of gave us a very good breakdown of each of these different companies that Bethesda owns. Again, you know how developers work, these developer studios, and it was a specific developer studio that was owned or something to that effect by Bethesda. They themselves as an entity, it's a Bethesda game, but the people that made it was a company that was, or a developer company, whatever, that was owned by Bethesda and did their own thing. They didn't stick to the Bethesda methods at all. It was an open world game. It was an MMORPG, essentially.
Yeah,
it was not a single player experience like the other ones were that Bethesda made with Skyrim and Fallout 4. So to compare this game, anything like Fallout 76 would be a miscomparison. Or what do you call it, a false equivalency, so to speak?
It would be considered a false equivalency, but the thing is that no matter how they decided to do it, Bethesda is the major parent developer of it. They are classified as the developer. They're classified as the people who owns the IP to it. So even if it does not stick with the way
it's like having kids, and you say, okay, listen, you own a business, right? You got kids. And you and your kids make stuff, but you have a new kid, and this kid's just, he's trying, But like you're like, all right, son, I'm gonna let you go ahead and work on this project because I gotta work on other things. And your kid, although he has your DNA and you've taught him something, or maybe he's learned some skills himself, he goes off in a completely different direction under your name. You cannot say, well, that guy there, his business, you got to be careful because look what his son did. You got to be able to think about this from the perspective of and this is what I see it. I see it as, well, this is Bethesda here.
Hold on. Before you move forward with that, if the kid goes out and does it under his name,
yeah,
that's the problem. The kid didn't go out and do it under his name. The kid went out and did it underneath the parents' name. That's literally, Bethesda has announced that they are the owners, IP and everything of Fallout 76. So because of the fact that just because that little kid went out and did its own thing, it still falls back onto it because
hold on one second.
You can't sit there and say that they did. Now, I'm not bashing Bethesda. I'm just saying that with this being a single-player game, it's probably going to be really good. Most likely, it's going to be very good because it is a single-player game. But the way that Fallout 76 came in with their track record behind Fallout 76, because they were originally going in and they were doing all of their stuff that they needed to do. And okay, I think I'm gonna test something real quick.
Sure.
Yep, got it. All right, now I've got your thing up because I'm in the middle of playing whatchamacallit. Now I need to pull up that one. All right. Yep. Visit site. All right. I gotta mute it. All right, there we go. And now I just need to pull up so I can be able to see the chat because it's on a small screen.
Yeah, let me actually, I'm looking for the video right now because I don't know I don't remember what it is, but I think it's important that you that I get the clarity on what the differences are because I think that I don't understand why you would compare, instead of talking about Fallout 4 or Skyrim. I mean, we're talking about the worst game ever made by Bethesda under that other company,
it's
which
because
is totally not.
It's because it's the most recent game that was placed out by Bethesda. It doesn't matter who made it.
We're still playing Fallout 4 and Skyrim.
Well, yeah, I mean Fallout 4. There's nothing against Fallout 4 and Skyrim and everything like that. Everybody loved it. They're cult classics. But the thing is that whenever we'll use Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 Warzone, the Warzone. Look at everything that happened with that, both political, both.
I don't know what the political stuff was. How is it?
It's about the whole transgender and all that.
It's a
stuff.
video game. Who the?
It's Nick Merckx had made a comment about something, and they pulled his bundle from the store, and it became a big thing with like Tim the Tap Man, Dr. Disrespect, all that stuff, and they've taken a beating from that. It has nothing to do with it. It's and also the amount of bugs that they have in there. Like, and this is the thing. Raven Software is the one that helped develop, and I think Sledgehammer helped develop Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And they're the main people who do a lot of the stuff that is inside of Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare, particularly Warzone. But there has been so many bugs inside of that where you have there's something called the stem glitch, where pretty much you can have infinite stems and pretty much survive the gas because it's a battle royale, similar to PUBG, Fortnite, all that stuff. And people were using that and pretty much winning by staying inside of the gas and not having to fight at all. So they were using a glitch, and people were getting banned for it and stuff like that. But the thing is that it was a smaller company that made it, that helped make it. But guess who's taking the flack for it? Activision. It doesn't matter if they are a part of that company. they need to stick to the standards of whatever that company does, because if they go off on their own, the parent company will always take the flack for it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just saying, as a gamer, when let's say that I mean, again, I'm going to try to redo this analogy. J-Dog, I see you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to address that. But if I'm looking at a business of any kind, especially as a gamer, if I'm looking at a gaming, like for example, the game that I'm most anticipating in the future is the next, State of Decay 3. So I'm very much waiting for that game to come out. If State of Decay 1 was great, State of Decay 2 was okay, was a lot of fun. But State of Decay 3, the difference is it's being backed by Xbox, and the resources being put into it are that of a AAA title, which means it's going to be a very well developed game, because AAA titles tend to be they're the creme de la creme of video games for the year, like Zelda.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with that: you can back a game all you want. Look at the Division and the Division 2. They were by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They were some of the biggest games that were being pushed and touted as the next generation of survival / shoot 'em up, loot and shoot kind of thing. And they have taken a major decline to the point where it's pretty much just a cult classic kind of following. It's not as big. There's no competitions that are for it like COD or anything like that, because they have conflict inside of the Division and the Division 2 where they could have teams that could fight each other and all that stuff, so they can actually make an esports out of it. But because of the amount of bugs and the amount of things that happen inside of it and the amount of cheating that happened inside of it, it took a downfall. Now, the good thing about what Starfield's going to be is that it's single player. From what I've seen so far, from the research that I've seen, and this was just in the past 30 minutes that I've just did this research, it looks like it's going to be a massive RPG, an MRPG, not an online, but a massive
it's a single player.
That is going to be the good thing about it. Now, that being said, here's the only thing. This is what worries me. Every time they throw out a single player game, it is sent out completed. There is no updates. There is nothing.
Who are we talking about? Wait, who's done this? Because every game I've ever played has updates, even if it's like golden, as they say, they call it the golden. It's in its golden stage, which means it's ready to ship. Every game Redfall.
When Skyrim, hold on. When Skyrim first played out, did they update any of the new quests? Did they throw new quests in? Did they update the storyline or anything like that?
So you're saying, okay, hold on. You're talking about the first player experience or the game development itself? Because let me bring up J-Dog's. This is relevant to what you just said. J-Dog says the thing about Skyrim was that the world felt full and alive with quests around every corner of the map. Now that we don't really have a strict map to explore, it might not feel nearly as alive, since most we explore will be empty. Just to be clear, I wonder about that too. They're promising
those things they are going to update.
Yeah.
Those are going to be updated. Anything that could be considered game breaking or anything that can make the game die, they will update.
Right.
But there's game breaking bugs that are in Skyrim still to this day that can be found. There's glitches that are still causing certain quests not to be completed. The type of updates that I'm talking about, the patches that I'm talking about is putting in new patches, the weekly patch updates, things like that, to be able to maintain it. Most games that are put out are classified as completed games, and this is because of the fact is that it's not an online game. Now, anything that could potentially make the game where it's unplayable, yes, they will go back in and they will fix it.
Right.
But the thing that
Hold on 1 second, Peanut, be safe. I asked you, I think I hit you up yesterday.
Oh yeah,
you missed
there is
it.
A hurricane
be
barrel,
safe,
down there.
Peanut. Please be safe. Please be safe. We want you back here. We don't want anything bad to happen. I hope everything is Yeah, I hope everything is okay. Please keep
Yeah,
us
agreed.
updated. Keep me updated, Peanut.
Now, anything when it comes to game-breaking glitches, be safe, Peanut. Anything when it comes to game-breaking glitches, yes, they're going to always update that stuff because I mean that's a potential loss of revenue for them because it's a single-player game.
Right.
For DLC, things like that. But there's also a lot of things that are out there that this is the number one reason why I'm a little skeptical about the game. It's not that I don't think it's going to be a AAA. I'm skeptical because of the fact that how they're doing a release on it. See, the way the release is you can either buy it, which why would I personally go buy it when now I can actually just pay $13 to $15 a month and I can play it all I want and many other games
Because you own it. It's the same reason why you would buy. You do own it. If you buy the game versus playing it on Xbox Game Pass is like renting the game.
No, you don't.
The game. What do you mean?
You do not own Starfield. You own the rights to play it.
If you buy it digitally, this is the digital. I don't even want to get into the digital battle versus the hard copy battle. I think we live in a time where digital is the way to go. I don't see why we're doing a hard copy.
No. I don't have any issue with digital and everything like that. But what I'm just saying is that people sit there and say you own the game. It's like, no, you don't.
You don't. Who owns anything, right? The government can come into your house and take all your stuff because they believe you're.
Yeah, that's a whole different. That's a whole different story. I'm just saying.
Practically, we own the game. Practically. In theory, nobody owns anything, but practically we do.
But how much? How much was the game that was gifted to you?
The $100 one because for the early access and the DLC that comes out later on, you get access to the DLC as well.
Okay. Do you know that within a year or so or something like that? Because I don't know how they're doing the Game Pass version of it.
Right.
But I could pay $15 a month and play 50 different games plus Starfield.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
That's the reason why.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I'm kind of skeptical about it is because why is day one is it being released on Game Pass, whereas Call of Duty and all these other AAA titles that were out there, even single players like Valhalla for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I believe that was single player.
It was a single player, yeah.
Was not available day one on any of the passes.
Real quick, that's a new thing, and that Xbox is promoting to build up the value of people subscribing to their service. Subscription services are like the future of gaming for all systems at this point, except for Nintendo. Generally the major consoles, but that's just an incentive to buy into their subscription service.
That's the main thing behind it. I think it's going to be an amazing game. Like my only thing is that with it being such a massive map, that there's going to be a lot of game breaking bugs in it. Even though there's been people in there who's been playing it for like 10 hours.
Yeah,
there's going to be Starfield. That's what we're talking about, Armenian.
Yeah, Starfield. So, real quick, I want to bring up a quick little blurb. Oh man, if I could find a quick blurb here. Starfield will run bad on
You're welcome.
Series S. So, people are concerned about Series S versus X. I have PC, I don't care, but I also have S, the Series S. So maybe we'll see. But let me play these real quick. I'm going to add them to the video here so we can all see.
I won't be able to hear it because I've got it muted.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll hear it here. I don't know if you'll hear it here or not. But I gotta play it just real quick. I think I have.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, so let's have it. That's muted.
Starfield, one of the most.
Oh my gosh! Hold on. Pause. Maximize audio. Refresh, because I have it not maximized.
I've never played a Bethesda game, and so when I talk about Starfield, one of the most common things people say in the comment section is how bugged their games are at launch and how Bethesda should be referred to as Bugfesda. Well, I believe that Starfield might be an exception to the rule, and for several reasons. The first one being that Xbox is having a rough year with disappointing sales and botched releases, and they need one
Oh
big
yeah,
hit to
I will tell you that people
that
will find out. Oh, I'm just answering one of the guys who.
I gotta pause. Well, hold on 1 second. Save that for a second.
Starfield. They just can't afford to botch its release with insane bugs that would ruin the reputation of the game. Second one is that when the game was delayed last year, it was already done. That means that they have spent all
As soon as he
the time
goes
polishing it,
and
we've
finishes
seen that
everything,
it's
I'll
better
answer your
with
stuff.
better graphic.
Hold on 1 second.
It's better frame rates, and there is no doubt that they also spent a lot of time fixing bugs that might have been there a year ago that the game was originally supposed to release. Finally, there's the feedback from the head of Microsoft Game Studio himself, Matt Booty, who said Starfield is the least bug Bethesda game ever, and that he's regularly in touch with Todd Howard to see how the bug count is decreasing. No doubt that if Starfield is a bug fest, these words will become quite a meme in the years to come. I've never played a Bethesda game, and so when I talk about Starfield, one of the most common things people say in the comment section
Can
is
you
how
thank you.
games
You
are.
unmute.
Yeah, I muted.
Okay, so that was just I guess an opinion, but opinion based off of some of the factors, similar logical processes that you go through, which is you're kind of assuming based off of certain factors that we don't know, but we can at least derive from previous video games that Bethesda has built. But he's saying that there's a lot of reasons to believe that it's less buggy, not excluding, if you will, the players that are playing the game before launch, who are saying that they're playing it for up to 25 plus hours and they've experienced 0 bugs. And this is unanimous amongst all the people that play the game.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, actually, not from just based on the experience of other previously launched games. I'm also telling you from a coding perspective. Okay, the way the code works, there will be bugs in the game. Like no ifs, ands, buts about it. I'm telling you.
By the way, welcome, Z-Drac. Sorry, but the question isn't will there be bugs? The question will it be game breaking, and how will they fix it?
There's a possibility.
Yeah, and those are possibilities for any game ever. Just to be clear, I don't care. I mean, if I play a game, I'm taking a risk. If I buy a game, I'm taking a risk. You can buy a game that's been out for a year, 2 years, and then all of a sudden,
it doesn't mean I'm not going to play the game. Like I'm going to play the game because the fact is that there's games out there that are indie games that I still play, like 7 Days to Die, and there's one that that's on Steam that it's classified as an indie game. It's a survival zombie game called Survive the Nights. Like I love it. You know, it doesn't have the graphics of Call of Duty or World of Warcraft, but it's an amazing game because I like the mechanics behind it. I like how you get to build your base up and everything like that. Like it's so in detail where you can actually sit there and put individual wood planks and put like 12 of them to block off a window both on the outside and inside, and then eventually upgrade it to a piece of plywood and stuff like that.
Yeah, so real quick though, I gotta address another thing. So because some of you addressed Extract, what's up? J-Dog Crane says Todd himself said this will be the least buggy Bethesda game. So have the players that are playing it. I'm not concerned. I know there will be bugs. It's part of gaming. It's part of anything in life. Nothing is perfect. It's technology. However, my question is to the other point that was made that players will learn how to break the game. Well, they can do that, but we're not going to be playing their game. We're going to be playing our game, and they don't have access to our game to break it. They're going to break their own game. It reminds me of the ChatGPT.
It's going to be client side.
Yeah. What bothers me is that there's a ChatGPT argument. ChatGPT is bad because bad people will use it, so therefore ChatGPT is bad. Well, no, there are bad people, and that just kind of goes into play with what we talk about in this channel all the time with the aliens and alien technology. It's not about the technology that's bad. It's the people and how they will use it that is bad. It's like people who believe in First, Second Amendment rights. It's not, they claim that weapon isn't the problem. Well, it's not. If you put a weapon out there and leave it sitting on a table, it's not doing anything, and it's not gonna do anything. It's a person that picks it up that makes it dangerous depending on the person's intentions. A car, so on and so forth. This is the argument that I hear all the time about like people breaking the game. I don't care what somebody else does. That's not my problem.
It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if they break the game. With it being a single player game, it's literally going to be a client-based game. See, that's the thing. And with the fact that it being too big, I mean, World of Warcraft is a massive multiplayer online, and it's really big. It's how here's the main thing. This is the main thing that's going to be, because this comes back to your Fallout 4 question.
Yeah.
Is your system going to be able to handle it? Because they're going to have multiple ways of it being implemented. With it being on Xbox, most likely this is the reason why it's available on Xbox, because it's not client side, it is server side. That's going to be all server side for the Xbox, because with it being massive like it is, I do not think that the Xbox is going to be able to handle the memory capabilities of it.
I mean, that would be ridiculous. They have, what do they have, like 16 gigs on the Xbox One S? Let me just check real quick.
I don't remember what the gigs for the RAM and memory is going to be. Well, storage and memory.
Let me just check. Yeah, it's 125 gigabytes, I think, for the Xbox. It's 140 for the PC. I think that's what I downloaded yesterday. 140 gigs. It's massive. So it's just gigs. And so the Xbox Series X and S will have.
Hold on. First, before you move forward with that, 140 gigs of storage or 140 gigs of RAM?
I don't know how much RAM. So I don't know how much RAM. Let's look at the recommended specs. On
RAM.
PC. Hold on. Let me
see. Here's the thing: for rendering of an environment, the RAM is what's the necessary.
Yeah. Of course. That's. I mean, for those of you who don't know, RAM is random access memory. That's what RAM stands for. And the RAM is essentially your computer's ability to do things, multiple things at once. When you're playing video games, a lot of that RAM is used for rendering graphics. So that's what.
No, it is used for rendering graphics. That most games today, most modern games today.
Yes, but you're talking about GPU RAM. But I'm talking about the computer has.
No, not GPU RAM. RAM, it runs off of partial GPU RAM.
That's why I said mostly.
The RAM that is made that helps with the rendering, taking GPU out, the rendering of the video that you're watching right now is based on the RAM that is placed in the PC.
Mostly based on the RAM. That's why I said mostly, because there is some VRAM on your graphics card that's used for, I think it's VRAM.
Yeah.
For the rendering too. But either way,
it's virtual RAM.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you can actually disable virtual RAM.
Yeah. So why can't I find the freaking? Hold on, I'm trying to find the specs here. I'll just Google it. Screw it, because it's not being very. Starfield specs, PC specs. So you need 16 gigs of RAM for this game to be. This is the recommended spec. So yeah, I mean most of
that's this base. That's base. Here's the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm trying to get into all of this is because there's a game called Escape from Tarkov. The recommended base. It's a love-hate game. So just bear with me on this one. It's a hardcore first-person shooter that's a looter shooter game. You go in, you can lose everything that you take in, or you can gain everything in there and make millions of rubles and stuff like that. Now, the recommended specs, I believe the recommended specs to be able to render anything, just base render everything in there, I think it's like 8 to 10 gigabytes, 8 or 12 gigabytes or something like that. But to get the full experience, you're going to need anywhere from 16 to 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Can I read this real quick? I just want to read this real quick.
Yeah.
This is an article that was posted on Dixerto.com. I don't know who they are, but obviously a gaming site or something like that. But let me just read Starfield Xbox Series X performance FPS and the S performance. So listen to this. So for the S, I think this is a quote. IGN Spencer reveals the reasoning behind 30 FPS. I think it'll come as no surprise given our previous games. What do we go for? Howard began. Always these huge open worlds, full dynamic, hyper detailed, where anything can happen, and we do want to do that. It's 4K in the X, that's the Xbox Series X. It's 1440 on the S. We do lock it at 30 FPS because we want the fidelity. We want all that stuff. We don't want to sacrifice any of it. He also added that, fortunately, in this one, we've got it running great. It's often running way above that. Sometimes it's 60. but 60 FPS. But on the consoles, we do lock it because we prefer the consistency where you're not even thinking about it. So on Xbox 30 FPS, that essentially means like the way that the fluid motions when you're, with the fluidity of the gameplay itself, the reaction of time of the gameplay, that's what you're mostly talking about for us, for our perception when it comes to the frame rate. On PC, you can run up to 60 FPS. People will definitely break that with all their, with the really big time people that are big with messing around with those specs. I'm gonna stick to the base because I want a fluid experience that it was designed for the time being, and hopefully eventually once we have new systems, new upgrades, new all that, they're gonna obviously adapt to that. Now 1440p, by the way, is beautiful. 1440p is 1080p is good enough for most people. 1440p is excellent, and 4K is just stunning. I mean, it's where you get the best quality. You're like, wow. But 1440p, you're still gonna be stunned. You're just not, and you're not even gonna be able to tell that it's not a beautiful game. You're going to see it as a beautiful game either way, just to be clear.
Here's the thing in regards to that, when it comes down to the rendering and everything like that, is that with the VRAM and all that, and the RAM and 30 frames per second and things like that, there's a lot of people out there that don't seem to understand how that is. All right. In order to be able to run it at 1440 or 1920 and all these and 4K, the hardware's got to be able to match that software. What that does when it brings it down to say 30 frames per second, what it does is it's preventing it from having something called screen tear or gray fall.
Yeah, which screen tear, whenever you're playing video games, sometimes you'll see these giant lines that kind of fracture, almost like if you break glass and you're looking at a broken piece of glass. That's what will happen with the video game with screen tear. By the way, thanks for the follow. I'm not Bot Chungus, but Chungus. That's great. And Extract, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that, y'all.
Now, to get full experience and everything like that, they're going to do it. They're going to make it where there's a base level that you have to start out at, just to be able to play the game. Yeah. Now, upgrading in order to get the full experience and all that stuff, a lot of these companies, they work very, very close with all these different
real quick, I want to address that. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
So sorry,
No, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. So DLS, this is a really, I don't know what their game is on this one. I really hope that they kind of give us an idea of what that of why they did this. But there's a technology called NVIDIA DLSS, and DLSS stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling. This is going to be a mouthful, so just bear with me. Anybody who doesn't care about these kind of things, I am a geek. I just want to say I'm not gonna play poker on this one. I am a geek. I do understand these. Is a neural graphics technology. This is fantastic. This is like mouthwateringly amazing. That multiplies performance using AI to create entirely new frames and display high resolutions through image reconstruction. Essentially, it's an artificial way to upscale. They call it upscaling. It's like making it look like it's at a better looking quality, image quality, than what you natively or whatever the game is supposed to run at. It'll make it look even better without having to spend more money on a higher, on a better gaming system. So they didn't include support for NVIDIA DLSS. I don't know I think the play on that one, at least as I understand it, is because Xbox isn't running NVIDIA. It's running, help me out here. I'm having a brain fart.
I don't remember what it's running.
Oh my gosh, I know this so well. I just can't think of it right now, guys. What are the two major graphics card manufacturers? There's NVIDIA, and then there's
AMD.
AMD, thank you. AMD is the other processor. They're using AMD. They're using AMD for their. Thank you, the Armenian as well. So AMD doesn't. I mean, it does have support for DLSS as well because I use AMD. The Steam Deck has that, but you can apply DLSS even on AMD processors. They decided to opt out of that. I don't know what the reasoning is for that yet. I haven't found anything on that. But that means that whatever we could have done to make it look better, even with lower quality graphics processors, They're like, nah, we're just gonna let it run native. I don't know why. I'm hoping there's a good reason. I'm hoping that it doesn't matter, but we'll have to wait and see.
Now there is Armenian popped in about a YouTube about the difference about the side-by-side comparisons about 60, 30, and 24 frames per second.
I'm gonna check that out if you want.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. There is a difference visually. There will be a difference visually. It always has been and always will be. We're talking about software. The reason being is because the fact is that a lot of
it's time to improve
like Xbox, PlayStation, and a lot of games that are out there have very limited capabilities. Whereas a PC, you can be looking at potential upgrades. Like I have Dimension or Marquise, he actually seen my PC that I have. I'm actually running off of a laptop right now, but the one that I hand built, like I hand built this. I didn't buy it from a place. I actually bought each of the individual parts, put it together, the whole 9 yards. And it was capable of running some of the strongest games that were out there. That's what they're looking for you to do, is because everything's starting to shift towards PC gaming because of the fact that the amount of type of graphics and things that can be done with these games versus what if you're just the consoles that are out there, and I play Xbox, I play PlayStation, all of that stuff. The consoles specifically built for the casual gamer, and that's what they were originally built for. Because of the fact is that it makes it, you don't have to do any upgrades on it. You just buy the stuff, log in, you're running a game with a friend of yours if you want to, or playing a single player game. Whereas PC, like me, with WoW, I've got to download in order for me to get a good game experience for World of Warcraft. I have to download Overwolf that'll allow me to get the rare scanner so I can find all the big bad boss monsters to fight. Weak auras so that when I go into dungeons, and different details that'll allow me to know what the amount of damage that I'm putting out, and to make it a more seamless game for me. Now, when you get into that, in order to be able to run all these different things, you've got to have the proper software and hardware to do this. Because you can't just go to Walmart and pick up a Dell and be able to think that you're going to run at 120 frames per second or even 240 frames per second. You're just it might not even boot the game.
Yeah.
So a lot of these recommended settings that are for games that are able to be placed and played on Xbox are just based off of just the Xbox and PlayStation's capabilities.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm sorry, but I gotta get out of here soon. So let's
yeah.
But I want to ask you a question here before we end this.
Ask it.
So the last thing because guys, I gotta go. I got another show tonight for a 3-hour show until 2 o'clock in the freaking morning. So I got so much to do. But anyway, so the last thing that I want to ask you is, I get that I see your skepticism and so forth. What do you hope for? What do you hope for with this game? Because I personally, let me just say for myself, I genuinely hope for an actually good game. I hope that the experience isn't just an empty massive sandbox. I hope that it's actually worth spending and investing a lot of time in. But I don't know yet, so we have to just, as I said, we just have to wait and see. But I'm hoping that it is as promised. I really hope it is. I really hope it is.
Here's what I hope for. If I'm going to be able to play the game, and have replayability, and continue to play it, they need to make sure that the quest lines are in it, and that there's enough quest lines where you can have hundreds upon hundreds of hours of completion, and it's still not done yet. Like,
yeah,
I play World of Warcraft, and I play solo. I don't do any of the dungeons or anything like that, and I'm still not done. Hell, I haven't. There's Warlords of Draenor, Legion, Shadowlands, Dragonflight, and I haven't. I've only completed 3 campaigns: Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. And there's like 10 other different campaigns that are out. Like, I want to make sure that there's continued playability.
Yeah.
Like, I've played through. I still play Skyrim from time to time. I still play Fallout 4 from time to time because of the mods that are out there. But I beat those games in like 3 days.
So let me comment on that.
Every quest that they had that was available, every different storyline, everything that was available that I could be done in that game, I did within like a 3-day period.
Let me comment on that. So real quick, they've already given the promise of DLC from buying the version that was given to me. I have access to the DLC as soon as it's launched. We got it, so we're gonna have that DLC content. Plus, they're talking about obviously the modded community being able to help with support the game as well. You know for a fact that there's going to be a freaking ton of content. I mean, again, if you just look at Skyrim, if you look at Fallout 4, if you even look at 76, as terrible as it is, the modding community kept these games alive and will continue.
You're not allowed to mod on 76.
I thought you could mod on 76 because I was getting people were telling me
it's an online RPG. You can mod inside the game that is allowed.
Yeah, they were telling me. I was told that you could mod and add, but either way, let's just stick with 4 and Skyrim then, because maybe I was mistold some information here. But they're definitely going to add mods to it because, again, look at Reference, and it's ironic you mentioned that. Reference, the 2 biggest games that Bethesda's ever made, made by Bethesda. Yeah, that's a low blow. It is going to be full of content. I mean, full. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it is going to be a good game, but the thing is like, you know this, like, I literally the other day, whenever we were going over everything, we were talking about the games, like, how many hours into a game, we'll just use the Division 2. How many hours in that game do I have? Oh my gosh, what is it, 400? I can't remember.
400 or 500 hours, and that's just because I play other games. If it was the only game that I play, I would have thousands of hours. Like, I've been... out of all of the different major title games that I have that I played, Dying Light, and from the Division, from WoW to Dying Light, I have over 52,000 hours into every single major AAA game that's out there and indie game that's out there. So when he sit there and said that I am a gamer, he's a gamer. Truly am. Like, I was actually back when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 I was being scouted for one of the esports teams, because
just to be clear, the longest I've ever played a video game is like 200-300 hours, and that was with Monster Hunter Rise. I spent like 300 hours in that game. That's as much as I've done.
Last night, before you jump to your next before you get ready to get off and everything like that. All right, this is how good I am. We went into something called Countdown on the Division 2. Now, this was normal setting. The normal when you complete the game and you've done the DLC Warlords of New York and everything like that, you start on the normal mode. Like, you've got normal, you've got hero, you've got challenging, and you've got heroic for just your world experience. And then in Countdown, you have the same thing based upon your world. We put it on normal experience. He had normal gear. How often did you die?
I mean, I think I downed myself twice because I didn't listen.
How many? And I went down twice, but that was because I was fighting a hunter that I couldn't figure out where he was at.
Yeah, and then after that, you just carried me through the whole thing where you're eating. I mean, your bullets are like acid. They just like eat through people.
Once I got rid of that hunter, because when you go in, you'll fight a hunter to be able to activate some nodes and all that stuff. I couldn't find where he was. He was able to tag me, and once he was able to tag me, I ended up going down. Once I killed him and we got in to start doing the 2 missions, as soon as I was able to get everything up, I did not die. I could not die. Like, that's how good my character is because I spend time in games where I can actually build something up to where you can't touch me. Like, I could put it on.
He does what it's called meta. Like, I can do metas on, I mean, like, for example, if you go into Diablo, I can do metas on Diablo, no problem, eventually.
I've got metas on Diablo 3.
Yeah. RPGs, I do lots of metas on RPGs. If they're big, like, for example, the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 meta, there's a lot of fun stuff to do on there. I guess you can call it meta, kind of. It doesn't have as much complexity and diversity as you do with, like, a Diablo game, but either way, that's what I do. With FPSs, it's not just about meta, it's also about skill. And if you want to play first-person shooters anyway, if you don't know, with first-person shooters, you got to have skill, and you got to play a lot. I don't have thousands of hours into any game, let alone an FPS. I'm just not that great at those games.
There is a way for you to be able to work on your aim. You can go and well, you're using Steam Deck, so I don't know about
Sometimes
that.
I use Steam Deck, but I also use I have Xbox, I have PlayStation. I just don't use it because of I need to be.
No, what I was saying,
Yeah,
what I was saying was in regards, because I didn't know if you were using keyboard and mouse. In regards to, because if you use keyboard and mouse, there's an aim trainer that you can use that'll help your aim.
It's an aim trainer. What the freak? Isn't that cheating?
No.
Oh,
no,
not aim
no.
bot, aim trainer. Okay, yeah.
Aim trainer. It's a website where you go into it and you'll literally, it's a point click. It'll pop up like a ball and you've got to click it real fast before it disappears.
Yeah.
It's just an aim trainer. That's literally all it is.
Okay.
It's not where it locks on.
I have to play for hours. J Dog Crane says, "Meta slave. That I hate it." So, focusing on meta takes the fun of exploring and having my own playstyle. To be honest, I think meta's fun because it gives you the ability to be able to face harder challenges, and you can only do that if you're meta. You won't be able to play the game by just.
We'll just use we'll use the Division 2 as an example. He can play on just normal mode. He'll go down, but throughout some of the stuff. But if he jumps into my game, he can't last.
Slaughtered, man.
He will get to the point where he won't want to play again because of the fact.
I mean, J Dog Crane, if you ever want to join us, hit me up. I'm gonna start a gaming Discord because I'm not a gamer, but I think that I do game on the stream. That's part of what Twitch
you can
is
still
about.
have you can have your game the games in the Discord that you have.
I'm not adding that. I don't want to clog up the general Discord. I don't want to do that.
No. You can add it just like mine, like how I have.
What do you call them? What do you call them? You call them
subcategories.
Subcategories, but there's a name for them. I forget what Discord calls them. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, yeah, there's a subcategory that I want to add for gaming. I have one for research for the phenomena, stuff like that. But I really want to create one for gaming because I want to be able to, add gamers on there without putting them into the actual general chat where we talk about what my content is. By the way, if you're here and you're new, I am.
You would lurk and stream snipe you all.
Let me just say this real quick. I am just so that you guys know, J-Dog Crane and X-Rock, I am a UFO researcher. That's what my profession is. I'm actually a professional researcher and voice actor. So what I do is I talk about the UFO, alien, non-human intelligence phenomena. I'm up on the news on that, so I stay up to date with that. And that's what this is about. But I also play video games on stream most of the time, and I get slaughtered. Just so everybody know, I get my cheeks clapped often. So that's what we do here, in case you're new and you don't know. There is a gaming emphasis as well. But it is mainly about having the conversation about non-human intelligences, aliens, extraterrestrials, whatever you want to say, and UFOs and stuff like that, and of course being up to date with that stuff. UAPs are wild. You just wait. You check out some of my recent panels. A lot of the guys in the chat were on the panels. We had a great time. We got Peanut, one of our only female panelists, who does a fantastic job joining us. So you'll check those out if you want to see what my content is mostly about. You can watch me get slaughtered on Destiny as well. But man, I got to go.
I can actually help you. I can help you gear up on that.
Please help me on Destiny. Please help me on Destiny. I am freaking terrible.
I got to get back onto it and start running it again. But I'm pretty decent at that as well. I haven't meted on that one yet because I didn't play it as a lot. But I can actually get you at least geared. Where
I like Destiny way better than the Division because I like the space stuff. That you're fighting aliens.
Yeah,
it's more towards what I'm about.
Yeah, and I'm more than willing to run that with you.
Yeah. Hit me up on YouTube too, by the way. Just so you don't know, my YouTube channel is the same as it is on Twitch. I gotta get going, guys. I totally forgot to do this again. If you would like to and you have the opportunity to, please support the show by donating to either the GoFundMe or the Patreon. I am completely funded by you. But just so you know, if you're here, you're already supporting the channel. So just to be clear, I appreciate you being here having the conversation. Now I'm gonna post my GoFundMe, of course, in the chat. So if you can, even as low as $1, anything would help me out, guys. It's what helps me do this full time. And so here we go. Thank you all. I gotta go, Whiplash. I'm so sorry, man. I gotta go. But thank you I appreciate you coming on here, giving us your expertise. I'm not a gamer. I'm just a passive gamer. I'm a casual gamer. So
it's not a problem, man.
I'm just doing it for fun, y'all. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Until next time, Whiplash, I'll catch you later, man.
Catch you later, man.
All right, peace, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And again, thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate that. I'm so sorry. I can't say that. I'll work on it. Welcome to the chat. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Most of the time, so in case you don't know, Monday through Friday, I am here from 12 p.m. Eastern until 4 p.m. Eastern minimum, okay? I'm pushing it for much longer throughout this month and the next. I'm working on getting that done. By the way, welcome to the chat, is it LRX7i? I didn't announce that earlier, but thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And again, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow. But Monday through Friday is a big time. I'll be here for much hours. On Saturday and Sunday, I do double streams. I stream here, and then I do the radio show on the weekend on Space Out Radio. So I'm going to be doing the radio show tonight. I got to prep for that. I got an interview with Preston Dennett. So if you want to see that, go to Space Out Radio. We'll be talking to Preston Dennett about alien abductions and experiencer phenomena. He's got a wealth of knowledge, written over 30 books. He is a prolific author. You'll love it. It's just a lot of fun to talk to him every time. He's a good heart. Got a good heart and a good soul. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I got to get going. Catch y'all tomorrow. Dr. Doris out. Peace.
Thank you.